A question many parents already feel but rarely name. How do I raise my child to live with AI without turning them into a passive user of machines that think for them? Many parents now carry a quiet, unnamed worry, not which app to download or how many screen minutes to allow, but something sharper. How do I raise a child to live alongside AI without quietly handing over their capacity to think? This is not a list of tools. It is a hypothesis about where AI literacy begins. For years, family tech rules reduced to one axis: how long, what hour, which app, whose supervision. Still necessary, no longer enough. A traditional screen shows content, a generative model answers, drafts, corrects, and seems to understand. The device stops being information and becomes a confident interlocutor. So the first goal is neither to ban AI nor to celebrate it. The first goal is to form judgment. Judgment means a child learns 3 questions before accepting any answer. What is this helping me do? Which part do I still understand myself? And how can I check it is correct? Small questions that reorganize everything. The second principle separates ages, goals, and supervision. A young child needs conversation, play, language, reading, and body, with AI appearing only through an adult who stays the frame of meaning. In primary school, AI becomes a mirror for thinking. Later, the focus shifts to verification and authorship. The third principle is that ethics is not appended at the end. It lives inside daily use. Privacy, personal data, images, voice, plagiarism, bias, and dependence are not abstract sermons but concrete cases. May I submit work an AI wrote? What happens when a model invents a source that sounds completely real? The fourth principle turns the home into a laboratory, not a consumption center. Simple routines do the work. A weekly question investigated together. An AI answer the family must improve. An outside source to contrast it. A small visible project. And one honest reflection on what we actually learned. The deep hypothesis. The children best prepared for the age of AI will not use the most models, but learn early to govern their relationship with them. To govern is to ask, doubt, verify, create, explain, and stop. The real question is not which app, but what mind we shape when answers arrive before effort. Topic: development. The new problem. AI does not show content, it answers back. A traditional screen displays information. A model drafts, corrects, explains, and seems to understand. So the child now faces an interlocutor, not a page. Key concepts: screen, model, answer, confidence, child. The underlying idea is, the device became a voice. Why old rules fail. Screen time limits still help, but are no longer enough. How long, at what hour, with which app stays useful. Yet none of it asks the harder question: is this helping the child think, or thinking for them? Key concepts: time, app, hour, supervision, gap. The underlying idea is, control is not understanding. Central thesis. The first goal is not banning AI, it is forming judgment. Neither prohibition nor blind celebration protects a child. What protects them is the trained capacity to weigh an answer before accepting it as true. Key concepts: criterion, weigh, accept, doubt, truth. The underlying idea is, criterion before convenience. Form judgment, not obedience to the machine. 3 questions. 3 small questions change the whole relationship. What is this helping me do? Which part do I still understand? And how can I check it is correct? Ask daily. They turn a tool into training. Key concepts: purpose, understand, verify, process, ownership. The underlying idea is, if you cannot explain it, it is not yours. Cognitive debt. Speed without autonomy quietly accumulates a debt. When AI does the task and the student cannot explain the process, it looks like progress, but the capacity to decide is being silently spent. Key concepts: speed, autonomy, process, loss, illusion. The underlying idea is, fluency can disguise dependence. Ages and supervision. Different ages need different roles for the machine. A young child needs language, play, and an adult as frame of meaning. AI enters mediated, never as an open account replacing human conversation. Key concepts: child, play, language, adult, frame. The underlying idea is, the adult stays the meaning. Growing autonomy. From mirror of thought to verification and authorship. In primary school, AI explains again and offers examples. By secondary school, the work is to compare, check bias, cite sources, and build something genuinely owned. Key concepts: mirror, examples, compare, sources, build. The underlying idea is, keep the student's voice. Ethics is daily. Ethics belongs inside the use, not after it. Privacy, images, voice, plagiarism, bias, and dependence are not sermons but concrete cases. May I submit this? Should I upload that? What if the source is invented? Key concepts: privacy, plagiarism, bias, voice, respect. The underlying idea is, responsibility stays human. Home is laboratory. Make the house a laboratory, not a consumption center. A weekly shared question, an AI answer to improve, an outside source to contrast, a small visible project, and one honest reflection on what we actually learned. Key concepts: question, improve, contrast, project, reflect. The underlying idea is, reflection is the real lesson. The deep risk, the danger is not using AI, it is using it without language. Children will use these systems regardless. The real exposure is using them with no words to name what is happening, where help ends and substitution begins. Key concepts: name, help, substitution, boundary, awareness. The underlying idea is, name it to govern it. The risk is not the tool, it is the silence around it. Synthesis: prepared children govern AI, they do not memorize prompts. To govern is to ask, doubt, verify, create, explain, and stop. The real question is not which app, but what mind we shape when answers arrive before effort. Key concepts: ask, doubt, verify, create, stop. The underlying idea is, shape the mind, not the habit. If you want to go deeper, the book Raising AI Ready Kids 2027, A Practical Parent's Guide to Teaching Artificial Intelligence with Ethics, Technical Skill, and Professional Vision is now available on Amazon. The purchase link is in the description.